What's good, family?
What's good, you guys?
We are here
At Grandview Mountain
at
Overlook.
Grandview Overlook
Yeah, thank you.
in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Is this considered the Blue Ridge Mountains?
Yes.
Okay, the Blue Ridge Mountains. We're on our way to Blowing Rock, North Carolina.
That part.
If we're not here already.
And I want you guys to see something, all right? If you just look out in the distance and you see all the blue, that's how you know you're at the Blue Ridge Parkway. All right? Also, this road that we're on right now is called Blue Ridge Parkway. State Park Road, something like that. All right? So join us as we take you on a journey of perspective.
Perspective, because your actions, your perspective determines the outcome of your life. That determines the fullness of your cup. Your perspective, your actions determine the fullness of your cup.
Your actions determine the fullness of your cup.
Let's get it. Y'all see this, right? Y'all see the hills and the valleys in this mountain, right? You're gonna go up, you're gonna go down. Not every hill is a valley, not every valley is a hill. So you can't expect nothing to ever go wrong in life. The point is to change your perspective. You in the valley, the only way to go is up. You on the hill, okay, I'm about to go down. Let me get ready to go down so I can propel myself up once I hit that valley. You know? Change your perspective.
Look out in the distance. Sometimes in life you look at God and you say, God, I want to get over there. God, I want to be there. God, I want to get on that mountain peak. But God's like, in order to get to the mountain peak, I need you to go through the valley of the shadow of death. I shall fear no evil. But you got to keep people around you that help keep you grounded. So when you go through these valleys, it's not as bad. The Bible says when 3 or more are gathered, he be in the midst. Don't try to go through the valley by yourself. Bring somebody with you. Bring somebody that'll help hold you accountable. The valley. Get in the valley and make it out the valley. What's good, guys? So we made it to yet another destination, all right? And show them the valley. I just want you guys to get a beautiful glimpse of this amazing valley right here, because as you can see, if somebody dropped you down into the middle of this valley, it's gonna be hard to make it out by yourself. That's why you gotta keep people around you that are positive, keep people around you that have a go-getter mentality and that are doers and have faith. You gotta have faith to make it out the valley. If you see there's multiple different low points, you can't compare your valley to somebody else's valley.
Because it's not the same.
And even if you are down in the lowest part of the valley, there are other trenches that are just as lower. Don't let the height of the trees or the things in people's lives make you think that they're in a higher place than what they actually are.
Come on now.
You don't know where the low points really are in this valley.
You could be looking at somebody's low tree and their valley is 10 feet deeper than yours. When your trees are just high enough to make you think that you're lower, that's the enemy creeping in to make you feel less than, to make you feel worse.
Get it out the valley.
Get it out the valley. Get it out the valley. Take a look at these mountains, these hills, and these valleys. Oh my God. Let me tell you about Rocky Hills. Because you could be coming out the valley and the enemy could trick you with a rocky hill, right? You could be like, all right, I'm back on this hill. That hill on God's hill. That's the enemy's hill, tricking you, thinking you going further because you took the route that you wanted to choose. You didn't let God lead your path. Because this rocky hill gonna have you up on the mountain like this. Like, I'm good.
Sliding.
But God's hill, you walking up the hill.
And sometimes it just comes out at you. And you're just kind of confused. What's going on? The rocky hill.
The rocky hill. Get it out the valley. Get it out the valley and trust God. Because when you trust yourself and only yourself, your hill gonna be rocky.
Just a few moments ago, y'all, we had experienced an overcast of a cloud. And it just goes to show you that even when you're on the top, you'll still experience the cloud.
You're still gonna experience something that's coming to dim your light. Something that's gonna give you the illusion that you can't keep going no more. That this is the end point. But there's never really an end. Don't limit yourself.
Because if you look out in the distance, there's other peaks that you could get on top of.
There's always the next highest point to go.
So aim
high
and go to it. But understand that you're still gonna experience the valley.
Do you see this cloud over here? Tell them about the cloud, Des.
About the cloud. Come on over. Show them this cloud over here too.
Oh,
You got this cloud that's on the mountain. You got that cloud that's in the valley. You got a spot of a cloud down here that's in the valley. You got clouds in the distance. That mountain has an overcast on top of it. And if you look at all of these spots, even at your highest moment, you still experience a dark cloud. So you're going to constantly go through things. But the hardest thing will be getting it out the valley. When you make it out the valley, you see how far you've come. And once you see how far you've come, it just makes it easier. It says, look back from where he's brought me from. Look back. Look down to the valley. There was times in my life where I was in those valleys. And I'm not going to say that I'm on a mountain peak right now, but I'm higher than I was a while ago.
You're higher than you were yesterday. Because, what was that Martin used to say? 1% higher? 1% better.
Higher. Baby steps.
Baby steps. That's what it takes. Don't think you're going to get out the valley or over the mountain in one simple step. It's never, I don't know if it ain't ever going to be that easy. God's going to try you. He's going to try you to push your limit. He's going to test you to push your limit. He's going to test your perspective. He's going to test your perspective.
He's going to test your ability to move the mountain. He's going to test your faith. Can you move that mountain?
Can you get out the valley? Can you? Here we are.
With another word.
We're at another low point in the mountain.
Another low point. Show them this view. I don't know about you guys, but am I 100% satisfied with this view right now? Not really. But when you're at a low point in your life and this is all you see, sometimes you become complacent. And then when you see the journey and the steps that it takes to get it to the top, look at these steps, y'all. They're Tetris.
We literally, come on, let's show them the journey. That's how you feel after your journey.
Once you done went through the valley, and you done went down, and came back up, you get tired. But if you keep somebody with you, they keep you motivated. Because me, I would have sat down for about 5 minutes.
Keep yourself going. Trust God and trust the journey that He has set up for you. Because you never gonna know that level of difficulty of the journey until you take it.
That's good.
So
That's the word.
So trust God, trust your journey, and change your perspective.
Your perspective.
Say what?
Change your perspective.
And then you gotta do what to the valley? You gotta get it out the valley.
Get it out the valley. Like when you in trouble, get it out the valley. All right, y'all. So I had to pull some biblical. I had to pull some biblical evidence, some scripture based off of our journey. All right. In the book of Psalms 23, well, chapter 23, verse 1 through 6, it says, "Yet though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and staff, they comfort me." All right. It doesn't say, "Yeah, though I walk to the valley and I stop." It doesn't say, "Yeah, though I get to the valley and I give up." It doesn't say, "Yeah, though I go to the valley and I crumble." It says, "Yeah, though I walk through the valley."
Yeah, though I what?
Walk through the valley.
Through.
You had to walk through it. You know?
Don't
But
run, don't speed.
Don't do none of that. Walk through it. Because sometimes the biggest life lessons and the tests, the trials and the tribulations that you need to go through in life is through that valley, and you got to walk through it. But valleys are a part of life. And if you go with me to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 11, verse 11, it says, "The land you will soon take over is a land of hills and valleys." So your testimony is on those valleys. Your greatest moments are on those hills.
Yeah.
The land of hills and valleys is all a part of your journey. It's a part of your story. It's a part of your walk with God. And that's what God and me is about. But stay with me. Valleys are inevitable, all right? Some of us just came out of a valley. Maybe we're in the middle of a valley. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe you're about to approach another valley in your life, because that's life. You can't avoid valleys, but you can control your perspective to help you get through that valley.
Control your perspective. Control what you can and let God handle what you can't control.
Control what you can and let God handle what you can't control. It's simple, but it is hard. All right? It sounds simple.
Simple yet complex.
But keep following me. In the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 2, it said, "Do not conform to this pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." But I want to back up a little bit. Do not conform to the pattern of this world. Do not be conformed. Do not become complacent. Do not get in rhythm to the pattern of these valleys in your life and think that a valley is all that you'll ever be good of. A valley is all that you'll ever get out of life. These low points in your life is nothing.
Valleys are complacent in themselves. They're
here.
They're deep. And they're not gonna follow you nowhere unless you let it. Literally. The valley is gonna latch onto you, and you're gonna be walking through that same valley going nowhere like a character in a video game.
Going nowhere.
And whole time you just need to let go of the valley, let God let go and let God.
Let go.
Change your perspective.
What was that thing? Oh, that wasn't the song. That was I'm thinking of never mind, I'll come back to it. Seeds of mustard seed. That's what I was thinking of.
Mustard seed.
You gotta have faith the size of a mustard seed when you're going through this valley.
Yes.
Because faith moves mountains. Alright?
Oh my God.
It does.
He is good.
Faith moves mountains. But then follow me, y'all. It says, well, this is what I also found. Then you will be able to test and approve. This all comes from Romans 12, all right? Then you'll be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. When you allow God to renew your mind and transform your mind, he changes your perspective. When God changes your perspective, you'll understand what is good, what is pleasing, and what is perfect. You'll start to realize your sense of direction will become better in your life when you allow God to be the center of your life. When you allow God's will to be the will that you follow. When you're in that valley and you trust God because you went to the book of Romans chapter 12 and you didn't conform to the pattern of the world, but instead allow God to transform your mind, he's changing your perspective. So when God changes your perspective, things in your life will begin to change. For the good, things that please you, and a part of the perfect will.
When you change the perspective, he's changing the way your tunnel vision is looking. He's changing your tunnel. It's going from straight blackness to, wait a second, that was my dream.
That part.
That's in my tunnel. That's the perspective change.
That's the perspective.
You're no longer thinking of what went wrong 3 days ago, 3 weeks ago, 3 months ago. You're thinking about what's going to happen 3 weeks from now, 3 months from now, 3 years from now.
Come on here. OJ said, until you let God change your perspective, you can't test your direction. That spoke to me. Because on a carnal mind, on a fleshly mind, your flesh is going to tell you to go. You're going to see a Delilah. You're going to see a Jezebel. You're going to see a mirage in that valley of what looks like your home. But God did not create you to live in low points. God did not create you for you to sit in the valley all day. Yeah, there are streams that run through the valley, so even when you're in your lowest point, he will still provide for you.
Yeah. Well, that don't mean he wants you there.
That doesn't mean to stay, because guess what? That water comes from a mountain. It comes from up top.
From the hill that you going to.
So what water would you rather have? The water that's already been ran down that everybody's drinking out of, or from the top?
The source.
I want the water from the source.
I want the water from the source.
And in order to get that water from the source, you have to keep pushing. Yanni McClurkin said, we fall down, but we get up. You can't stay on the ground.
You ain't gonna do nothing but get dirty.
Nothing but get dirty. And in the valley, it floods.
Come on.
Why would you want to stay in an area that floods when you can be up high on elevated ground?
Because everything you build in that valley is gonna be broken down by a flood.
Until you let God change your perspective, you can't test your direction.
When you you let him change your perspective, you cannot test your direction, because the direction that you follow in would be your perspective. Trusting in your perspective.
And the Bible
you can't trust
says
yourself
not to lean on your own understanding.
Hello. If you trust in yourself, you already, that's wrong. You need to trust God.
Hey.
It's God's plan.
Hey now. And if you follow me to the book of Psalms 121, verse 1, I'm coming from the New International Version. It says, I lift up my eyes to the hills. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord. But if you call on God,
oh my God,
for your help, he's going to change your perspective. So if you don't want your perspective changed, just sit in the valley and cry. But every time you cry to me, I'm going to tell you to look to the hills, for which cometh my help. Because what you won't do is keep me in the valley with you, because you don't want to move. You cannot place yourself around people that don't want to change. You cannot place yourself around people that won't change their perspective, because stuff like that will start to worry on you. You ever had that friend in your life? You ever had that friend in your life where they were always in the funk, and every time you got around them, you just got irritated, and here you are in the funk? You ever talked to somebody that had a real nasty attitude, you walk away and now you got an attitude? Change your perspective. You got to change your perspective. You got to allow God to renew your mind. Sometimes you got to deal with people with a grain of salt. Sometimes you got to understand that you can't change people's perspective. You can't change people's direction. And you can't, what did they used to say? You can take a man out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of a man. Whatever you do, even if you grew up in the hood, you still remember those 90-cent cups, of styrofoam they used to make. Put the Kool-Aid juice inside. You feel me? Y'all remember those old things we used to do. You can take us out the hood, but I'ma still put me a grilled cheese and I might warm it up in the microwave.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying?
And it's still gonna be my grilled cheese.
It's still gonna be my grilled cheese. Just because I done moved up don't mean I gotta have a skillet to cook my stuff. I'ma still use a toaster. You feel what I'm saying? We used to freeze our drinks and put them in the freezer. Now all I gotta do is go to the fridge and put ice in. Just because they took you out the hood don't mean your whole mindset gonna change. You forget about the hood. You can't pull people out of situations. Some people will drag you down. Sometimes every time you try to get out of that valley, one of your friends, your so-called friends, is pulling your leg and dragging you right back in the valley.
Or keeping you where you at.
Exactly, and keep you where you at. And God's like, let me change your mind. I need to get into your head so you can understand that these people around you are not helping you. I'm trying to renew your mind. I'm trying to transform your mind. I'm trying to make changes in your life. And in order for me to make changes in your life, I got to remove you from this situation. And in order for me to remove you from this situation, I need you to trust me. In order for you to trust me, you're going to have to allow me to make my moves. God said, don't leave me out of my own plan.
Okay, because, and another thing, that perspective change, it's not going to be comfortable. You might have to remind yourself that your perspective changed. Because we still human. Because we might revert back to the old ways, but it's the practice that keeps it there. Keep practicing it. Keep reminding yourself. Keep studying. Change is uncomfortable.
Look, it's not just God in me. It's not just God in you, but it's God in us. We can help people understand that your relationship with God is your relationship with God. God will change everybody's perspective won't be the same. When you realize, when God start tapping into all of your friends and family's mindsets, everybody start going in their own directions that benefit them and their will with God. And they're growing. Everybody don't have to be on your path. That's like when you go on a trip with your friends and stuff. That's a nice car, y'all. I just got distracted. It's a Corvette. This road past that. That's a nice car. But you think about it when you go on a trip and you got that one friend that's trying to make everybody do everything together. I don't want to do everything together. That's why it's a group of us, because we might not all want to do the same thing. Our mindsets are different. Our perspectives are different. I want to start from this way and we meet up at this exact ride. I don't want to go the same way. Change your perspective by trusting God.
I think they got perspective.
I think they did too.
I got a whole new level of perspective.
Change me, oh God.
Change me, oh God.
I was about to try to hit that note, but I just knew I wouldn't. You know, Rocky, change me, oh God. See?
I can't remember.
Change me, oh God.
There we go.
Make me more like you. Change me, oh God. Look, allow God to change you. That's all I got. Change. I need you to change me. Oh, you change me. Oh, change me. Are you going to allow God to change your mind? Maybe the direction in your life that you thought was the direction you needed to go is the direction that you need to be in. That valley that you're in right now, whether it's that relationship that you've been trying to get out of, whether it's school for you, whether it's your financial situation, whether it's your job, whether it's your kids, whatever it is,
Whether it's your health, whether it's
health.
your health, your mental, your physical.
And with this being the month of May and being Mental Health Awareness Month, I challenge you to try God. People laughed at me when I said this on Instagram, but you have to try God like you tried these drugs. I'm serious.
No, seriously.
Because when you started smoking weed, you didn't start out smoking 5 blunts. When you started drinking alcohol, you didn't start out with 10 shots. You started out with 1. You tried it. The Clark sister said, I tried him and I know him. I found him to be a friend. Try God with something small. Give him your attitude. Give him your mind.
Literally. If you feel like you talking to yourself, change your perspective. You're talking to God.
Ooh.
Because that's your conscious right there. That's your
Talk to God.
subconscious. He speaks through you. He
And
speaks
he hears you.
around you. He hears you. He's going to connect. He's going to connect.
I challenge
just gotta
you to
put
try
it-
God
I challenge you to try God.
and find him to be a friend. And if it don't work out in your life, you can slap me in my face.
And maybe I'll be waiting for a minute.
It's God in me.
It's God in you.
It's God in us.